You know what's wild? I spent years of my youth in the Boy Scouts at St. Bede's Catholic Church in Southfield, Michigan. Great times, great memories, close friends who I still think about. And you know what? I wore that iconic tan and olive green uniform to every meeting, every camping trip, summer camp, winter Klondike, national and world jamborees, and even Philmont. Never once did I stop to think, who designed this thing? Turns out, the answer is absolutely insane. Oscar de la Renta, yeah, that Oscar de la Renta, the guy who dressed Jackie Kennedy, Michelle Obama, Laura Bush, and designed the wedding gown that Amal Clooney wore when she married George, the same designer whose creations walked red carpets and dominated fashion runways worldwide, he designed the Boy Scout uniform. Let's sink in for a second. Millions of kids, myself included, have been walking around in custom haute couture from one of the most celebrated fashion designers in history. And we had no idea. We're talking about a man whose dresses sell for tens of thousands of dollars, who defined elegance for generations, and he spent 2 years of his life completely pro bono redesigning uniforms for kids who were going to get them covered in dirt and marshmallow residue. But here's where it gets even better. De la Renta didn't just slap his name on some khaki and call it a day. In 1978, the BSA realized their uniform needed a serious refresh. It had been essentially unchanged since 1943. So they reached out to Oscar de la Renta, and this legendary designer actually said yes. For 2 years, from 1978 to 1980, he volunteered his time to completely reimagine what Scouts would wear. And when I say completely reimagine, I mean it. The Boy Scout uniform before de la Renta was basically military cosplay, which honestly makes sense when you know the backstory. See, the very first Boy Scout uniforms in 1910 were literal copies of U.S. Army uniforms. They were actually made in the same factories that produced Army gear. Kids wore button-down, choke collar coats, knee breeches, canvas leggings, and campaign hats. You know, those Smokey the Bear hats. The whole look screamed junior soldier, which was kind of the point back then. Scouting had a strong military tie, and it was founded by British General Robert Baden-Powell after all. But by the late 1970s, the BSA wanted to distance themselves from that military aesthetic. They wanted something modern, practical, and less like you were about to storm the beaches of Normandy. Enter Oscar de la Renta. His vision was revolutionary for scouting. He told Scouting magazine in 1980, "We felt the uniform should meet several criteria. It should be suitable for strenuous activity, it should be made from an easy care fabric, and at the same time, the wearer should still look like a scout." So what did he do? First, he introduced the two-tone color scheme that we know today. Tan shirts with olive green pants. Before this, everything was the same khaki green color, boring and monochrome. De la Renta added crimson epaulets, the shoulder tabs to the Boy Scout uniform specifically designed to designate program placement. Boy Scouts got red, Cub Scouts got navy blue, and Explorers got green. Not only did they look sharp, but they actually served a practical purpose, keeping the Order of the Arrow sash in place. He ditched the visored caps and introduced baseball-style cap. He made the neckerchief optional, a controversial move at the time, but one that acknowledged not every scout wanted to wear one. He added utility pockets to the pants because, let's be honest, scouts need places to stash stuff, and the fabric? He switched to a polyester cotton blend that was durable, stain-resistant, and machine washable. Parents everywhere rejoiced. But here's my favorite detail. De la Renta designed specific uniforms for women in scouting too. He created blouses in a vivid lemon yellow signifying happiness and good cheer for Cub Scout leaders, with options for slacks, shorts, or skirts. He actually thought about making the uniform inclusive and functional for everyone. The De La Renta uniform debuted in 1980 and remained the official uniform for nearly 3 decades, 28 years to be exact. That means literally millions of boys, girls, and adults wore his design. In 2008, the BSA introduced the Centennial uniform to mark the organization's 100th anniversary. But traces of De La Renta's work remain in today's uniforms. He created the foundation. Sadly, Oscar de la Renta passed away in 2014 at age 82, but his legacy in scouting is permanent. And here's the thing. Any scout who still has a De La Renta era uniform can still wear it. The BSA has a policy that any uniform that was ever official is still official today. So if you've got one hanging in your closet, you're literally wearing a piece of fashion history every time you put it on. Now, the colors themselves have always been intentional. The khaki and green tones were chosen to blend into natural environments, perfect for outdoor programs, camping, and hiking. It's functional camouflage without looking overly militaristic. And that khaki color, It comes from a specific shade used by the 19th Cavalry in their flight jackets. The BSA has always been deliberate about that connection to heritage. But let's talk about some of the other weird and wonderful facts about the Scout uniform that most people don't know. American Scouts were the only ones who wore knickers instead of shorts for decades. British Scouts and Scouts around the world wore shorts, but American boys refused. Why? In the early 1900s, shorts were considered clothing for little kids. Boys over the age of 5 or 6 didn't wear them. It wasn't seen as manly. So American Scouts wore knickers well into the 1940s, even during summer camp. It wasn't until 1943 that the BSA finally dropped knickers and allowed long pants or shorts. And even then, most Scouts chose long pants except at camp. In 1916, Congress actually passed a law banning civilians from wearing uniforms similar to U.S. military uniforms. But you know who got an exception? The Boy Scouts of America. They were literally the only civilian organization allowed to continue wearing military-style uniforms. That's how embedded scouting was in American culture even back then. During World War II, Scouts adopted overseas caps, those fold-flat military caps, to show solidarity with troops. That addition lasted for over 60 years. And get this, in the 1960s, the BSA switched from itchy wool and rough cotton fabrics to permanent pressed materials. That might sound boring, but trust me, any scout who wore these old wool uniforms will tell you it was life-changing. No more ironing, no more scratchy, uncomfortable shirts. It was a revolution. Oh, and one of my favorite bizarre facts, in 1916, Congress granted the Boy Scouts a congressional charter. They're one of the few organizations in America with that distinction. The uniform is actually protected by copyright, trademark, and congressional charter. You can't just make knockoff Scout uniforms. The BSA will come after you. But beyond all the history and the design details and the weird trivia, here's what the uniform really represents: equality. When you put on a Scout uniform, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, what your background is, or where you come from. Everyone looks the same. Everyone belongs. That was part of Baden-Powell's original vision, and it's still true today. The uniform also represents commitment. It's a visible symbol that you're part of something bigger than yourself. You're part of a tradition that goes back over a century. You're connected to millions of Scouts around the world, past and present. And honestly, knowing that Oscar de la Renta, a man who could have spent those 2 years designing for royalty and celebrities, chose to spend his time making sure Scouts looked good while learning to tie knots and build campfires, that says something profound about what Scouting represents. It's not just about the activities, it's about the values, the character, and the future. So the next time you see a Scout in uniform, remember, that kid is wearing a piece of American history designed by one of the greatest fashion minds of the 20th century. And that's pretty incredible. St. Bede's in Southfield is gone now. The church closed years ago. But the memories remain, the friendships remain, and somewhere in a box in my parents' attic, there's probably still a tan and olive green uniform with my old patches on it. Oscar de la Renta's masterpiece, worn by a kid who just wanted to earn merit badges and roast marshmallows. And you know what? That's exactly what he would have wanted.